heading south this weekend. I hope you can hear me because it's absolutely bucketing down. We're just heading down for a simple little camp. We're heading down to Yamba, and it's just a basic hip camp, another one down that way, somewhere to have a campfire. And we've got a good friend of ours that lives down that way that we haven't been able to catch up with for a while. So we're hoping to have a bit of a nicer, sunnier day to go hang out with him and have a couple of beverages at the pub up that way. So as you've probably seen in a lot of my videos, I'm often camping with my mates Paul and Jerry, but the last camp trip you would have seen would have been with Jerry. This time I'm going along with Paul, at Paul's mates as well, with our friend Jason, who lives down there. So Yamba's only about a 2-hour drive from the Gold Coast, so it's not a huge trip. I'd rather be on more rural road, looking at more interesting things if I were traveling for much more than 2 hours. But Yamba's a nice spot. We haven't got much planned other than that. There's a bit of beach driving. There's a spot called 10 Mile Beach, just off Iluka, which we might check out. So, but other than that, we'll probably just do a bit of cooking and some campfire and show copious amounts of beers getting consumed. We've just passed Byron and we're battling the weather at the moment. So today and yesterday there was a 90% chance of about 90 mil of rain on the Gold Coast, and I think it's consistent all the way down to Yamba. So there's a lot of rain, a lot of water flowing at the moment. We're not going into any treacherous areas, but hey Paul, I'm doing my video right now. Have you got any questions for me?
Why do you insist on running tires wider than your vehicle?
I really like these tires. They work. I had BFG tires on the 60 series prior to this, and to be honest, I wanted this size tire when I had that, but it just wasn't an option. And I've found these to be much more capable than the BFG tires, so I'll be buying these again. I like the look of it. They work. Don't change what's not broken, I reckon. You'll be happy to know that for the 40 series, I'm considering keeping a much skinnier tire, but we'll see how that plan goes out.
If you're going to increase the tire on that, you're going to have to increase the power to move them.
That may also be on the cards, but we'll see. All right, I reckon that's about it from us talking. I think we're about an hour and a half away from the campsite, but we'll probably do a few stops on the way. So we'll see you there. G'day, mate. I'm filming you. Put it there, pal. How you doing?
Yeah, good.
Going all right?
Yeah.
Well, tell us a bit about this then, Jason. Standard motor, I'm guessing.
Standard motor.
But everything else is pretty cool.
Yeah, just suspension and a handbrake.
That's all you need.
Hydro.
That's all I need. Bit of aero.
Dual rear calipers.
Graham lights? Were they?
No, what are they? They're I don't even know.
Race.
Yeah, race. But I don't know what it is.
I was like,
yeah.
I don't know.
Big
Very cool.
stupid wing that does nothing. Yeah.
They look good, but.
Yeah.
Oh, awesome. Oh, good stuff, mate.
Yeah.
And you're just working on some front knuckles at the moment.
Yeah. Front lower control arms, yeah.
Cool. Oh, well, there's the introduction to that, and we'll get into some beers. That's what I want.
I feel it more too these days. If I have 5 beers, the next day I'm like, a bit rough.
Me too. Just pulled up at camp now, trying to find the right spot. Paul's pulling in here. Bit to be desired with this spot. It's a bit barren, and we'd normally like somewhere a little bit closer to the trees. Trying to avoid the mozzies though. There is a lot of stagnant water around here. Lots of mosquitoes. So we're hoping this is the best spot. We'll see. You'll have to edit that one out. Yeah. Delete for YouTube. That'll be fine. This is the worst fire drill. Yeah, I know, and I'm not making it any better. Rip it apart. Halt, come on. I was trying to. It's a bit spiky. There you go.
The footage makes us look like a desolate wasteland.
Yeah. There's fucking nothing going on.
We'll see what happens after those firelighters are out.
Yeah. All the firelighters will go in. That's what's going to happen. What do you reckon, Paul? The weather is immediately bullshit.
Oh yeah, it's like we're in Fallout 4.
At least there's a fire going there out here. You know, when you can get a Volkswagen, once you can get a Golf into the campsite, you shouldn't be coming here. All right, so we've relocated campfires. Camp's still there. We're over there in the barren wasteland, but we're using this instead. Get it going. I'll just hide these little trade secrets, hey? Did you start that fire by hand?
Absolutely.
I used a flint and spit. Whoops, get that out of there. Get right in the flames.
I want to eat tonight.
Yeah. We want to be warm. All right, that's our current situation. It's not much of a campsite, but it's got a campfire. We've got some good friends. I've just stepped in the bloody water. There is not going to be much happening tonight, I don't think, other than some fire cooking, and we'll hopefully see what happens tomorrow. There's going to be some interesting stuff happening tomorrow, I think. Got some friends here. Hooroo! Good morning. Getting some coffee going, and it is a wet old morning at the moment. It's a good day for some hot coffee. Hoping this will back off eventually. Almost everything we've got soaked last night. Make some coffee and hopefully gets to the beach today. Maybe. See how we go. I remember there's milk for once. For my coffee. That's what we need. Yeah. All right, we are sick of hanging around here, so we're actually gonna go get some breakfast and coffee at a cafe local to Yamba, and we timed it. We timed it bloody well, because look at that. That's coming in. I better get in my car and actually start it. Lucky everything's packed up. There it is. We're on. Stay dry, swag. Stay dry, please. This weather sucks. This is bullshit. This is wild. This sucks. Yum. Bit better than cooking at camp, eh, Paul? Into this. Well, that was pretty good. Much better than getting soaked at camp or making breakfast. Just heading back to the car now. We're in the centre of Yamba, and then we're gonna go for a drive out to Iluka and see how bogged we can get. Exactly the conditions we were wanting for today, but fun enough to get out on the beach, have a bit of a drive on the sand. Lunch is pretty miserable. I don't think we'll be out here that long. I think we're heading back to the pub, have a nice feed and a couple of cold beers without a chance of getting soaked. All right, stopped up the Black Rocks area in out of Iluka, and it's called Bunjalung National Park. Pretty sure I probably got that wrong. But so up here is Black Rocks camping area. Can't actually access it by 4-wheel drive from this direction, but you can access it from the highway. I mind going for a little walk up there, but I don't know how far it is. But parked up here for a second, have a bit of a scope around. We're getting wet. It's not great. Something to do, then we'll head back to the pub. What do you reckon, Paul? Wet. It's average, isn't it? Yuck. Trying to go for a bit of a walk to check out this campsite, but it's getting fucking worse and worse. I don't know. Alright, well, we've picked a day for it. I was hoping to make it up to the campsite up there and have a look, but the weather's just cooked. Paul's given up, he's walking back to the cars over there. I'm just having a bit of a scope around on these rocks, but man, we're getting soaked. It has been bucketing non-stop all morning, basically. All I wanted to do was just walk up to that campsite, but yeah, there's just every chance I'm going to come back even more soaked than I am already. So, back to the cars, and I mean, we just drove up 10 Mile Beach, we'll drive back down it, and then I think we're gonna go meet our mate Jase and go to the pub, I reckon, because it seems to be the best place to be in this weather. And I'm just hoping my swag isn't full of water. It's usually pretty well seasoned, but we shall see. Always pretty stoked with these two little rigs. They work well. This weather just keeps getting worse and worse looking. This is what we're heading back into.
It does not seem like the tide is going out.
As Paul just said on the UHF, it doesn't seem like the tide's going out, but I'm pretty sure it's meant to be, but it doesn't look flash.
What?
Just stopping for some firewood because we ran through most of it last night. So we got 25 kilo, $15 a bag, perfect. So, grab one of the ones that hasn't been.
Yeah. The packup, they're only just a little front
Yeah,
up there.
beautiful.
I don't know.
Yeah, they might do. Thank you, mate.
Yeah.
Have a good one.
We get wet.
Yeah. And he goes. Alright, so my swag has been out in the rain all day. Pretty confident in it, it's pretty well seasoned swag, but it has been wet. So you can see there's a lot of water there. But I'm interested to see if there's any water inside it. I'm looking pretty good. Bone dry.
Beautiful.
Except for the water now dripping down. Show everyone on YouTube, yeah. Dry as in there. It's now getting wet because I've opened it, but that'll do. Close it up for now. Keep that closed. I'm still gonna get the awning out so I can prevent any more rain hitting it, but pretty happy about that. So we're back and set up. We've got a couple of awnings out. We've got Paul's 270 and we've got my two side awnings out, positioned sideways to let the water channel down. This one's not helping so much, but at least it's putting away from us. And then that one's going further downhill. And I've got a little channel system to get all the water out, which I'm gonna readjust. Got a bit more firewood. We're about to go to the pub. It's less than perfect camping conditions, I would say. One might say, many might say. All right, we're skipping this place. We're heading to the pub. Jase is picking us up. Got some travellers. All right, to dry weather, boys.
A major incentive for us heading down to Yamba for the weekend was to catch up with our mate Jase, a Yamba native who we hadn't seen in a long time. One of our favourite haunts down here is the Pacific Hotel, the main pub in town perched at the top end overlooking the ocean. While the weather hadn't turned it on like it had for us many times in the past, the vibes didn't disappoint. We killed some time for a few hours sinking beers, playing some terrible games of pool, or at least I did, and best of all, staying out of the rain for the afternoon. After a short taxi ride out of town to our questionably remote campsite and some largely unsuccessful fire cooking, possibly due to consuming too many beers, it was time to call it a night.
Got some blue sky finally, sort of, some. There was a fair bit more about half an hour ago, but the clouds are setting in. But packing up here, trying to dry out as much of everything as we can. Get the awnings drying. Just trying to get as much sun into the swag as I can before I fold it up. And we're getting out of here shortly. All right, well, it's been a big few days of us basically standing around in the rain. It's been interesting for us. We got to see a mate. We got to do some beach driving. bit of a road trip down south and see some different places. I haven't been to Yamba in a few years, and for anyone that's on the East Coast, I'm sure you've probably been there. It's a bloody beautiful spot. So nice to just come down there, be able to enjoy a campfire, as well as some beers in the pub, as well as some beach driving. We ticked a lot of boxes. Now I'm heading home. It's mid-morning on Sunday, so I've got to do a whole afternoon of unpacking this car and cleaning just about everything. I've got giant ants nests in my swag that I need to get out, and it's covered in mud. Everything is covered in mud. I've got a lot of cleaning to do. So getting home, gonna do that. Looking forward to a shower. Looking forward to seeing my wife, who I haven't seen for a couple of days. And then I'm getting stuck back into the 40 series build, so we'll do that soon. Anyway, catch you in the next one. Oh, I can't click my fingers because I've sliced my thumb open last night, which was fun. See you next one.
To wrap up this video, I thought I'd do something a bit different, something I don't see many other content creators doing, and show you the unpacking and cleaning process that comes at the end of a trip. Camping and four-wheel driving can take you to some truly breathtaking places. That beauty is often captured perfectly through the lenses of many talented YouTubers, but most videos tend to focus on the enjoyable middle of the adventure. What often gets left out are the less glamorous bookends, the planning and packing beforehand, and of course, the cleanup afterwards. Even though we were only away for 2 nights, the cleanup for this trip was made much more challenging by the relentless rain. It meant that, on top of putting everything away, I had to leave most items out to dry. And in the case of my swag and a few other pieces of gear, I had to properly wash the mud off before even thinking about drying them. I love getting out on camping trips, but it always feels like the more organised I try to be, the more gear I end up bringing, something I'm constantly trying to streamline. Naturally, that also means the post-trip cleanup tends to take longer. I put a lot of effort into organising my gear in the garage, so the packing for a trip is easier and I don't forget anything. But after every adventure, putting everything back in its place still takes time. And as my collection of gear continues to grow, I often find myself tweaking how I store it each time. And of course, any time you've been driving on the sand, it's important to take care when you're cleaning your vehicle. Removing as much salt residue as possible, especially from underneath the car, is essential. Thorough wash is a must, and it's always a good idea to clean the chassis rails properly with a product like Salt Shift. It's a bit of extra effort, but it goes a long way in protecting your vehicle for the long run, knowing it'll be ready and reliable for your next trip, and many more to come.